everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today we're going to prepare nopalitos with pork and a delicious homemade sauce. When growing up, I ate a lot of nopales because there was an abundance of nopales where we grew up. So we had them very often. And I'm also going to show you a secret ingredient that I use so your nopalitos don't turn out so slimy. Let's get started with the recipe by going over the ingredients. To get started with this recipe, we're going to start by heating up a small amount of vegetable oil. Then we're going to add in the diced cactus. You can also boil the nopales in water, salt, onion, and a little bit of cilantro. But this is my preferred way of cooking the nopales. I feel that you lose a lot of the flavor of the nopales when you boil them, but that is just my opinion. You can prepare them whichever way you feel most comfortable with. We're going to cook the nopales over medium-high heat for about 12 to 15 minutes. With frequent movement. After about 5 minutes, the nopales are going to turn a pale green color and they're going to release a lot of the slime. Once they look like this, we're going to add in the juice from 1 lime. When adding the lime, I feel the nopales come out a lot less slimy than when I don't use the lime. You can try it both ways and you can tell me which one you prefer, with the lime or without the lime. Once all the slime has simmered down and it looks like this, we're going to set this aside. Using a Dutch oven pan or a heavy bottom pan, melt 2 tablespoons of manteca, or you can substitute it for vegetable oil. And while the manteca is heating up, we're going to lightly season the pork with a little bit of salt and pepper. Add in the pork and cook for 20 to 25 minutes over low-medium heat. During the process, make sure to move the meat around often. And while we wait for the meat, we're going to prepare the sauce. To prepare the sauce, we're going to blend 4 to 5 roughly chopped Roma tomatoes, 5 to 6 serrano peppers or more depending on how spicy you prefer it, half a white onion cut in half, and 5 to 6 garlic cloves. And to help blend the ingredients, we're going to add 2 cups of water. Blend until smooth and set aside. The meat has been cooking for about 15 minutes. As you can see, it has a nice pale color, but we're going to continue to cook the meat for an additional 15 to 20 minutes. Or until the meat has a nice sear or a crispy texture. Once they're nice and crispy like this, we're going to add in the scallions. And we're going to let them fry in the meat for a few minutes before adding the rest of the ingredients. At this point, we're going to mix in the cactus with the meat and the scallions. Don't worry too much about the meat that's stuck to the side of the pan. Once we add the sauce, it's going to fall right off and it's going to add even more flavor to the stew. We're going to give it a light mix and then we're going to add the sauce from the blender. We use 2 cups of water to blend the ingredients. But if it's too thick and you prefer yours a little bit more soupy, you can add more water as needed. At this point, we're also going to mix in the seasonings. We're going to cover this and we're going to let it boil for about 2 to 3 minutes over low-medium heat. After 2 to 3 minutes, we're going to come back and check on it and give it a taste test. Taste it, and if it needs more salt, add more salt as needed. I ended up using 2 tablespoons of tomato bouillon instead, which is going to add even more flavor to the stew. We're going to cover it back up and boil for an additional 8 to 10 minutes over low-medium heat. And now it's ready to enjoy with your favorite side dishes. This dish goes great with the side of red rice and frijoles de la olla. And don't forget to serve with the side of warm corn tortillas. I hope you give this recipe a try because it comes out absolutely delicious. And if you do happen to have leftovers the next day, it makes a great filling for burritos. Thank you so much for watching and I'll see you in our next video.